7 strangest deformities and diseases you'll ever watch. Who doesn't like to be healthy, strong, and nice looking? Everyone would like to be attractive and physically fit, but we don't always get what we want in life. From accidents to medical conditions, many factors can lead to deformity. In this video, you will discover 7 deformities that are not only extremely rare, but also strange. But before we proceed, kindly subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon for new uploads. Your likes and comments will help us expand our presence on YouTube. 1. The Portuguese Man with no face. This case is unique in the medical world. A man from Portugal named Jose has a facial tumor that weighs about 12 pounds and measures 15 centimeters in diameter. The tumor covers his entire face, leaving him completely disfigured and scary to some. "Children see me and start crying. They probably think I'm an animal," he said. The tumor was just a mark when Jose was born. As he grew up, by age 11, the vascular malformation on his lips started to develop abnormally. At 16, the tumor already expanded considerably and bled very often, particularly at sleep. Over time, the expansion destroyed the right eye, extended over his mouth, tongue, and lips, crushing his gums and causing loss of teeth. The tumor reached that stage due to misdiagnosis, medical misinformation, financial problems, and religious beliefs. Vascular tumors are congenital and usually removed at a very young age in Portugal. Jose is a Jehovah's Witness. Jehovah's Witnesses refuse transfusions of whole blood, red and white corpuscles, platelets, and plasma. He therefore refused a British surgeon who offered to operate on him. Now a group of physicians in London decided to remove the tumor bit by bit, with no transfusion. But the problem may not be over yet. Even after their removal, his type of tumor can relapse, impairing facial nerve functions, like the ability to swallow, speak, or smile, or causing heart and lung problems. 2. Filipino Man with Massive Elephantitis. Gerald Coronado is a 21-year-old man from the Philippines. He has been suffering with elephantitis for 6 years. The affected leg has become so big that he can no longer walk. Elephantitis is a severe enlargement and hardening of any limb or organ of the body due to an accumulated trapped fluid. According to Geraldo's family, he has suffered from the swollen elephant leg for 6 years, and already underwent several surgical procedures, but the inflammation kept on coming back, and more aggressively. It came to a point where his family could not afford to pay for the treatment. Many officials and people in the community intervened to help Geraldo to the hospital. He's not receiving proper care at Vincent Soto Memorial Hospital, where he is due to undergo surgeries and obtain necessary medications. 3. 17-inch footman begs for amputation. Jeffrey Ortega, now 26, is a very young man who has plenty to do with his feet, but he's begging for an amputation. He was born with Proteus syndrome, a rare and progressive medical condition characterized by overgrowth of skin, bones, muscles, fatty tissues, and blood and lymphatic vessels. It causes Jeffrey's legs to grow out of proportion to the rest of his body. Jeffrey's left foot measures 17 inches in circumference. The right foot, smaller, is 14.5 inches in circumference and 12 inches long. Therefore, he has to wear a special pair of size 16 Crocs, which was given to him by the National Institute of Health in 2005. The leg has continued to grow, and he's in constant pain. He wanted to get his left foot amputated in order to relieve the pain and stop growth. The procedure would cost about $40,000, including prosthetics and physical therapy. He asked the public to help on GoFundMe.com and raised $45,700. 4. Ugandan boy whose legs weigh more than he does. Vincent Okech is an African boy who's affected by a flesh-eating bacterial infection that causes his legs to swell and weigh more than his own body. His parents detected the problem when he was 1. As of writing the script, he is 10 and there's still no real diagnosis yet. It is theorized Vincent was born with a lymphatic problem that causes his legs to swell over time. Meanwhile, the boy is not able to walk and can barely crawl. Due to his outsized legs, he cannot wear pants or shorts, but only girls' dresses and skirts. African doctors and parents appeal for help from professionals who can help. One of the physicians, Dr. Osire, said, "We're extremely grateful for any help. We urgently need outside medical advice because the case may be too complicated to be treated locally. I want to do whatever I can to save this boy and give him a chance at a normal life." Meanwhile, the boy is fighting for his life, and time is running out. Conflicting diagnosis and lack of medical facilities have made the situation worse. The only options his local health and care providers have left to save his life is amputation. 5. Filipino man's face swells to 3 times its normal size. Everything started when Romulo Pilapil began experiencing itchy eyes and running nose about 3 years ago. At first, his physician believed it was a sinus problem, but sinusitis medications failed to work, and within a few weeks, his face began to swell. Medical professionals in the island where he lives, the island of Leyte, were baffled by the condition and recommended him to a more advanced medical center in Manila. As he could not afford to pay for the treatment, his entire head became so inflamed that Romulo lost his eyesight. As of today, while writing, Mr. Romulo Pilapil was still waiting and hoping someone would help. If you can help or have any update on his condition, kindly share it below. 6. Man with upside-down head. Claudio Vieira de Oliveira was born with a condition that fuses joints, leaving him unable to use his limbs. He was born with his head upside down, but Claudio is a fighter. He has defied physicians who told his parents to let him die. He is now an accountant and public speaker. He states, "I don't see things upside down. This is one of the things I always talk about in my interventions as a public speaker. Nowadays it's much easier to deal with the public. I'm not afraid of it anymore, and I can say that I'm a professional international public speaker, and that I receive invitations from all over the world." Despite his physical limitations, he manages to live a good life. He graduated from the State University of Feira de Santana, where he regularly gives motivational speeches until today. He types with a pen in his mouth, and uses computer mouses and phones with his lips. 7. African boy legs bent backwards. "What do you want to be when you grow up?" was asked Ulrich, who was 12 at the time. "I want to stand tall like my friends," he replied with a smile on his face. Ulrich was born with an advanced deformity known as quadriceps contracture, which dislocated knees, causing them to bend drastically backwards. But the mother, Georgette, did not give up hope that one day her son would walk. She desperately tried to find a surgeon capable of helping Ulrich to walk and function like other boys his age. Meanwhile, in spite of constant ridicules and harassments, Ulrich managed to adapt to the difficult lifestyle and learn to walk with sticks. It came to a point where he started experiencing pains in his hands and joints from supporting his body weight. He said, "I was worried that if I was feeling such pain now, it was only going to get worse when I got older." He also said, "I was scared to grow up like that. I didn't want this to be all my life was ever going to be." But as they say, things turn out best for people who make the best out of the way things turn out. Indeed, Ulrich underwent surgeries, and he can now walk and stand tall. A surgeon from the U.S., Dr. Frank Hayden, who has volunteered with Mercy Ships for 8 years, heard about the situation and decided to help performing the surgery at no cost on board Africa Mercy, a 16,572-ton hospital ship belonging to Mercy Ships. Complete restoration required several major surgeries, but at the end, Ulrich woke up from the anesthesia with 2 straight legs and casts. The operations were successful. Before he left the Africa Mercy, he slowly walked to Dr. Frank Hayden and handed him his old walking sticks. He will not need them anymore. Thank you for watching the video until the end. If you have any comment or update on these people, kindly share them with our viewers. Remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel to help us grow our presence.